stream contains fast-flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. Six teams are fighting to make it to the play-ins, but only 3 will make the cut. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 7 of VCT America's Kickoff, coming at you live from the Riot Games studio right here in Los Angeles, California. Of course, I'm the man yelling at you. I am Golden Boy, and I'm joined here by Athena, and we have a person who wears a lot of hats on this broadcast. It's Uber joining us as an analyst today.
I actually never wear actual hats at all. Despite the massiveness of my forehead, I've not found one that actually obscures that at all.
Now I just got to find you a hat, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm not a hats guy, you know what I mean? I've never really, I don't know, I look like an idiot.
That's how we start the show off. But you know what? If there's one person who can pull it off, it's this man. That being said, though, let's talk about what happened on this stage yesterday. We had one game, and boy, howdy, was it a good game, because Evil Geniuses took on G2 Esports, and we were all ecstatic for multiple reasons, but one of them was, what the hell was EG cooking in the offseason? And we now know.
It was crazy. I mean, the comps were crazy, the games were crazy, the maps were crazy, the comeback was crazy.
The deadlock.
I mean, the deadlock was crazy. I have been preaching about deadlock on Icebox for so long. Everyone called me crazy, but Giacomo, I mean, he is the guy to do it, because he went absolutely insane on that. It was so good to watch.
Nothing stood out to me more about the deadlock comp than watching Leaf, dash onto B site and then hit 2 nets in a row and just, get stuck.
And at that point, you're like, well, this is my life now. This is great, you know? I love being detained and not playing the video game. It honestly was really, really awesome to watch that. And, of course, that brings us to our current bracket and where we are right now, because NRG, Loud, and EG have all qualified for next weekend's single elimination playoffs. And our 6 remaining teams are all fighting for a shot at tomorrow's play-in. So these matches and the matches tomorrow, I mean, look, folks, VCT is just a gift that keeps on giving, because you ain't getting it here in America. You're going to get it in Pacific, and then you're also going to get it in EMEA, and now you're going to get it in China. It's amazing. There's so much going around here. Great matches across the board, though, Uber. And, we got iBUYPOWER versus Cloud9, Sentinels versus Leviathan, and then Crew versus G2.
Again, by the way, which was a game in which both teams had to adapt about 12 times a map. It was incredible. And obviously, Kesnet looked amazing. Can the rest of Crew step up around him? Mel's calling. Absolutely sick. I want to see what they've done with a bit of prep for that rematch.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting through and through. A great day of Valorant for everyone watching at home. Now, this year, though, we're actually going to be doing a few really fun things. We're going to be heading to Madrid, Shanghai. We're also going to go to Seoul as well for our big global events. But what about the future? Well, good news is we asked the pros where they want to go, and this is what they had to say.
I think if I could pick any city to host an event in Valorant, I'd probably pick somewhere in America or São Paulo.
Eu escolheria alguma cidade do Brasil, talvez São Paulo ou Rio de Janeiro.
São Paulo, perto de casa, perto da família também.
Eu também gostaria, conhecer o Rio, que eu não fui. Santiago, de Chile.
Yo creo que falta cambiar y hacer una en Santiago para que conozcan un poco Latinoamérica.
It would have to be Rome.
Las Vegas.
Yo creo que volvería a repetir Copenhagen.
I would say Houston, because that's where I'm from.
There's some crazy stadiums in Texas. I like big crowds.
Being able to have another Masters at Tokyo, Japan or something like that.
I honestly hope there is another Tokyo event, because I still wanted to go there.
I'm almost certain that everyone's answer had to have been Tokyo, but then they were like, too many people said Tokyo, so can you please change it?
My God.
But where would you like to go?
I haven't been to Japan yet. I'd love to do that. Also, Brisbane, Australia. Can we go? Can we do that?
Hey, WWE just did an event in Perth. So
okay, not bad. Also in the middle of nowhere. It's a long way away from basically. I love that Ethan's like, there's so many big stadiums in Texas. Bro, we're going to end up back in Arlington like every single Texas event. Not going anywhere fancy. It's bloody Arlington, mate.
Yeah, I got 8 Halo events there, so I'm sure it's going to be great. But in any case, so guys, actually, Myrna, what about you? Where would you like to go?
Dude, imagine the pyramids in the background. Honestly, as an Egyptian,
that'd be pretty sick. I would like us to go maybe to the Boogie Down Bronx.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? And maybe do a little gig at Yankee Yankee Stadium would
we
actually
did
be
Brooklyn.
pretty sick.
We did Brooklyn, right?
Brooklyn would be fun. We did that once. That'd be a good time. You know, there's a lot of places we can go to. The good news is that, well, there's always going to be an option, right? And we have so many bangers that are going to be coming out here today. We got great matches. We got Cloud9 versus MIBR. Now, here's the funny thing. You guys might remember this. Last time these two teams faced off, it was 2-1, but it was closer than anyone could have expected. And Uber, I think it goes without saying that MIBR came into the season with a point to prove. This is not the same squad that we saw last year.
This team is really stable. That's one thing that stands out to me about them. We talked about who's the star in MIBR, who's going to really take the reins. They don't have to do that, and they sort of decided maybe that as a unit, they're going to be really hard to shift. Both them and C9 were trying to pull each other off sides all through that series, and neither of them refused to budge. So it added an extra layer of like information and feinting and poking and prodding in terms of the attack side to that map, those maps that I really loved.
Yeah, I actually really feel like the consistency is a huge thing that MIBR brings, because like you said, we did talk about not having like a star player or not having like too much aggression, but I feel like that actually played out in their favor, especially against Furia. Like the way that they played and the way that they mid-rounded, even if they were down numbers, it felt like they were still cool, calm, and collected, and they were able to kind of use that consistency and that play style that they normally have to like push forward.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like the way MIBR is looking as well.
They look very scary. You know, I think it goes without saying a lot of people are, I wouldn't say like underselling them, but coming into this matchup, if you think this is going to be like some walk in the park for C9, I mean, you have to be on something, because it's just not going to be the case.
MIBR can look understated, but that's a trap. It is a deadly trap because, again, in like 4v5s, their conversion rate against Furia was like 50%, which was double what Furia had. They do so much with so little.
Yeah, I mean, the thing to think about, too, is that when you play against C9, like, you have all these VODs to watch. And I feel like MIBR has been a team that has, like, always watched the VODs and come back and improved on things that they needed to. And I feel like that's also a really big strength that MIBR have. And, again, that consistency, if you bring that with VOD review and the IGLing that's been going crazy.
Well, you're always going to be looking, obviously, for the coaches to, you know, help drive that. And good news is we actually ended up getting some words with Coach Bazooka, because Elizabeth is standing by to get some words from MIBR's lead man.
Bazooka, I have a quick word with you. I'd love to ask you, what has been the impact of having fraud on the team this year?
It's been a huge impact. You guys want to see today.
Okay. Good luck.
Curious to see what they have cooking over there, right? I mean, you know, without a doubt, fraud coming into this team, along with Coach Bazooka, they've had success before, but a lot of pressure on their end as well, because same can be said. They had Sadak on their team. We see what's going on with Loud. There's a lot of question marks here for this MIBR lineup.
Yeah, for sure. When we saw them against Furia, for us on the desk at least, we genuinely thought Furia was going to come out on top because of the reason of not having that star player.
Yeah.
But the way that MIBR was playing was so, so good. I mean, they had kind of a dominating effect against that Furia, and even against their mid-rounding, the way that they're playing, it feels like they have a solid fundamental
But you mentioned star player, though,
Yeah.
and actually it takes us to one of the players we want to talk about, is RGL Meister, because, yes, you don't necessarily have, like, these, you know, ASPAS level numbers. You don't have the Oxys even of the world, but you got yourself a solid arm here with him.
I mean, he's an IGL, and if you put him in any clutch situation, I feel like he's coming out on top. The way that he was clutching time and time again, and he was keeping his team in the loop, was just so good. And again, he's consistently put up numbers. He hasn't been bottom fragging, and he's IGLing the whole time.
One thing I loved out of RGL Meister on Breeze is that he read MW0 really well. He actually came out ahead against the duelist in first kill, first death, 5-3, where MW0 was handling everybody else on MIBR pretty effectively. So that's really important if he has to anchor sites. And also, like, sometimes when you're at that anchor, you feel like you're always playing retake, right? Always rotating into a site in a post-plant scenario. The guy is Gigabrain, and he's very, very good at picking apart these like really complex situations to get these huge clutch moments and come out.
You even started that 1v2, right? That he had earlier, where he really just herded them exactly where he needed them to go.
Yeah, he literally had both his mollies, and he just like used his usual to push them into wherever they needed.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest part too that you actually mentioned is that they were down numbers a lot, and they still managed to kind of push and take positionings and kind of take space away from the other team. And I feel like that's a whole aspect that the IGL brings. And RGL himself, when you see him on the camera after every clutch, he's just so cool and like chill, and he has those vibes. Yeah, so like I think that also is a huge, huge thing to bring to a team when you do have that just like cool, calm, collected IGL that can just like clutch, keep it cool,
I mean, look
and
at
like
this
make
picture.
sure. Exactly.
Look how cool he looks. He's so cool. He's just staring at the windows of my soul, telling me, "Come here, puppy." You know what I mean? I love it. I'm all about it. You know. Also, I think that another aspect of the team that a lot of people were not expecting in the MIBR matchups, FRZ was stepping up big time as well. Uber, like this is another guy who you're just seeing these guys really start to find their identity here, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, here's another guy that does so much with so little, which is kind of the theme for this MIBR team. He was put in a position on split against Furia where he had to anchor beat. He's not playing a Sentinel, he's playing Viper. So instead of using that util that you play off to give information, give that to the rest of your team, you have to stall, you have to delay, you have to not overpeak, not get caught out. And that game was so chaotic. The early rounds were just ridiculous. He does go 1 in 5 first kill, first death, so he does get jumped on. They really try to exploit him.
That's not his job.
No, and then he comes up late in the round and ends up carrying that map for his team with the late lurks, heading over towards that A side and actually dominating. So I mean, sometimes you need not only a Sentinel, but another player in that B side to help anchor it. He did it all on his own.
I mean, he denied so much information with his Viper util from the other team from getting any information. It was so good. And even with the Viper gas, he managed to kind of mirror the other team's Viper gas and to kind of make them use their util and make them use their gas to get into sight. And I think that was really, really solid. And on attack, his lurks were phenomenal. He was putting a wrench in every single rotation and felt like he always managed to be heaven control literally by himself because the rest of his team is just doing so much pressure on the other side of the map that he just utilizes it perfectly. I feel like as a lurk, as a Senti, as a site anchor, he did amazing on Viper.
That's the scary thing about this MIBR team is that we know that the tools are there, and that is what makes them so fascinating to watch, of course, as we get ready for this matchup, though. MIBR and Cloud9, they have met on this stage before 9 days ago, by the way. So let's go ahead and take a listen on their comms from their last matchup.
Here towards A, Cloud9. The 4-1 again with Whippy kind of being off, listening for rotation.
Okay, well, I can go late hookah. Yeah, sure. Come over, Max. You can leave short. Burnt them all in us. Not left. I'm gonna throw triple smokes, okay?
Yeah. Sure.
After this, we sky out.
Mercado, de vida, vai pra te meter esse pato.
Aqui, Ezek pelo fundo, parece.
Tá, vamos travar, consegue?
Foi fundo, não tive que varcha. Eu peguei TP,
tá? Tá, ok.
A Viper tava fundo, já tinha. Tá.
Entrou bomb, guys.
Saiu todo bomb, pra mim, né? Tem que entrar rápido, guys, tem antes da Viper. A Viper tava fundo, ele não passou.
Pegou TP, 3, 2. Pegou 2 só. Pode ter ficado bomb. Vamos na bomb? Lá de morto.
Boa. Deixa eu ouvir.
Pegando orb fundo, pegou TP agora.
Não sei se esse cara me ouviu.
Pode ter mais um bomb ainda, tá?
Me ouviu. Tem um cara meio, tá? Ele me ouviu, já tinha perto de você, acho. Tem mais um bomb, certeza? Um comigo aqui.
3v3.
Nice. Heaven.
One more B-side.
Come in. Just go.
I'm picking ball.
I can ult
inside. Where is he? Heaven? Gonna drop. I'm gonna ult. Heaven still. Missing Viper. Heaven still.
I've got one.
Up here.
Heaven one.
Heaven still.
Tá verde, eu acho, a Raze. Fica causando.
80 da Viper, guys.
Verde morto. Calma, eu tô bem.
Thing's walking on my side.
It's fine. Might spam you, Max. Go walk up on the... Yeah. Go low right, Max. Go low right. Gonna put more. Spam you.
One on me. Dead.
Nice. 2v1. Sit.
Aí, sem saída.
É muita ranked contra o Charola.
As an MIBR using their last timeout here of this map. See what they could do. I mean, they had a little bit of money left in the bank, but this buy should be very broken in round number 24.
I'll put my wall, jump it again.
Nothing outside here.
They gave us showers. Careful short, guys.
Yeah.
Can I peek the shake?
In a second, Francis.
Yeah.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, peek. Holding deep.
Nada. Quer abaixar a parede?
Tem banheiro.
Desaguei nele, viado. Era só
É o Yuro, acho. Calma, bora. 3, 2, 1.
Acabou a parede.
Mais um banheiro. Cuidado.
Tá, fechei.
Carrinho meio da Raze.
Deixa só.
Voltou.
Should walk up, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna sky ult touch ours. Go ahead.
Do it. But 30
Keep me flanking on Max. I'll jump my wall.
Front showers.
Dogging. You check flank.
Front showers.
Pode ser fake ainda, guys. Pode ser fake.
Banheiro comigo, guys.
Tô virando banheiro, dois banheiros.
Vou invocar o banheiro, cuidado do pop.
Banheiro.
Abri banheiro, pedi de coragem.
Come through.
Two more, backside. Yeah. Backside. Nice.
Get bomb.
You might flank.
Could be short.
Come, follow. Could be anywhere, could be you. Just TP.
Holding Evan. Sure.
Could be behind, okay? He walled up.
He could be here too, guys. Wait for Jake.
Now what? 3, 2, 1, jump.
No problem.
Click over, click over. Steady.
Not
Could be long, could be long.
It's time for long.
On.
Both teams had the numbers of their opponents in a variety of different ways throughout that matchup, as you saw in that comms listening. And I'm pumped for this matchup just because this is going to be a great test for MIBR, a great opportunity for them to really show that they are a contender, in this region. But for Cloud9, it's an opportunity for them to show people that they are the real deal, that they do have these stars on this team, and that this team will come together in a spectacular fashion.
Yeah, they already had a tough loss against NRG, and I feel like for me, knowing that NRG is probably one of the top in the league, for my own personal prediction, I feel like NRG is definitely like one of the top. So I feel like them losing against C9 or C9 losing against NRG is kind of like, we can kind of gauge how they are as a team, but I feel like they're playing against like Demon 1, and we know about the Demon 1 and Oxy.
And they're playing with a level of confidence that honestly hasn't really been seen that much outside of EG champs.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like that wasn't like the best idea of how C9 is going to play. And so I feel like coming into this, now that they're playing against MIBR, they're playing against a really stable team. They're playing against a team that maybe, they can out firepower them, which I feel like they couldn't really do with NRG. I think coming into, we're going to see a lot of different things and a lot of like weird cooking action, but
Absolutely. I think that NRG game, if anything, demonstrated how much C9 will lean on Oxy.
Yeah.
He, at the end of the day, has to break these sites open. I really liked, actually, Cloud9's emphasis here on controlling A-Link on Sunset. That was really important. But sometimes things weren't quite lining up with Oxy. You can see here he's in a drift and he's probably trying to play off a flash or a trailblazer, but he pops out in the middle of smoke against players who are not flashed at all and gets caught out. This happens on a number of occasions. We're using the term, the shorthand, overheating, right? But again, Cloud9 are a team that can get caught overthinking themselves.
Yeah.
And I really think you want a duelist that just goes
and I'm kind of curious,
and doesn't hesitate.
In that instance as well, Uber, I don't know if you saw a few times, he was coming out of the drift. You notice that he was doing so in areas where he thought he was cleared, right? So there's also, I wonder if there's a familiarity with it too, like throwing this young kid on these compositions that are definitely going to be a little wonky at times. You have to cook a lot more than you normally would.
I feel like the biggest thing was NRG wasn't really giving them the space to like set up for that.
For sure.
And I feel like for Vanity as an IGL, like he was having kind of a tough time to kind of push and like find where the strong sites are, find where the weak sites are, bait util. And NRG read that kind of like a book where they just sat on site and let them use all the util and like play by themselves, like go push pull as much as you want. We're not going to get baited. And because of that, they couldn't find any openings. So I think for Vanity, like he has a little bit to overcome, but his slow passive play style against MIBR might be really good, actually.
Yeah, I want to see how it looks on the run back, because both teams were pretty adamant not to get pulled out of position last time they played against each other as well, and it took a little bit more. But MIBR were happy to play off the site.
Yeah.
That let C9 in and created these post plants. C9 defensively as well struggled in retakes against MIBR. They kept running out of time. So we want to see across both sides, more decisive play from this Cloud9 team.
Yeah, and to put more of a microscope onto the individual player, you're going to keep your eyes on Vanity here for this one. What calls he's going to be making, how is he going to be, contributing to this team in this one. He's had plenty of standout moments in this tournament thus far, Uber. So I feel quite confident that skill-wise, Vanity's going to bring it, but it just matters on the strategy, the calling.
Which I also think he has going for him. I loved what he called on the defense here for Ascent, especially the A side. Oxy was fighting tooth and nail for Tree. He would not give it up. They were playing ahead of that execute utility from NRG, and Jake was anchoring this A side really well. He was in Y in a couple of rounds, shutting down the A split. He played from heaven, beat Demon 1 on a couple of occasions. Vanity has the tools at his disposal, especially on the defensive side. So I don't think there's any issues in deficiencies in calling or gameplay, but I would like to see those decisions made a little earlier when they're trying to attack.
Yeah, it feels like on their attack side, Vanity was kind of calling in the sense that they were just waiting for NRG to make a mistake. Like, they're waiting for MIBR and NRG to kind of push and take, fights that they don't really need to on their defensive side and just letting them be aggressive and kind of capitalize on that. But again, when you have teams that understand that and don't really care and they're not trying to aggress, they didn't have anything to kind of bite off of. But again, on that ascent, it was so good. It worked out so well. And I feel like Vanity himself was going crazy. I mean, his Sova stats were insane. He uses util really well to mid-round. Exactly like I said, if he did just a little bit earlier, I feel like maybe the rotations would have been smoother. Maybe the attack side would have been better. But again, his util was just so good. Even shocks, even the way that he uses drone to get info for his team and like cause rotates. Everything that he did was
brilliant.
Phenomenal.
Recon initiator, 100%, right?
Sure.
And does exactly what he needs to do. And he's going to need, well, all the pieces of this puzzle to really come together here. One of those, the big one, I would say, is Oxy, because we put a microscope on this guy for good reason. He came in with a lot of hype into this league, and even though things haven't necessarily panned out Uber the way that he would have liked, I'm sure they would love to be in the upper part of the bracket right now. We're still seeing something impressive from this young man, but it's clear it's going to continue to develop over time.
It was a tale of two Oxys, I think, between the two series that he's played so far. I want to focus more on the MIBR one. I think it's more relevant. There's a clip where he, like, dives into U-Haul on offense, inside all, comes out short these two people and just opens up the site for his team. He was always playing ahead of the rest of C9, and he's the one paving the way, so the Vanity has good info to work off of to make those mid-round calls. What you see in Dimensional Drift, whether he's going to the A side or going up B long, that is so crucial. He's very good at making sure Vanity has a full picture of the map, and then on Lotus, like, these individual moments are just absolutely disgusting. So Oxy can be the one that feeds this crucial info back to Vanity and also just opens these sites right up. He's got the skill. I feel like he was nervous. He was 3 and 5 first kill and first death against NRG on Sunset, for example.
Something to think about when we mentioned him playing Yoru against NRG versus him playing Yoru on MIBR, or versus MIBR. When he was playing against NRG, NRG literally wasn't giving anything. They were not pushing. They were literally just sitting on sites. They would send util every now and then, but they would not fall for it, I guess. But against MIBR, like, there were openings, there were loopholes. MIBR as a team likes to move in a pack. They like to do that. So when you have a team that's moving in a pack, there's always that loophole, there's always that gap, and Oxy did such a good job at finding that, and like you said, feeding that to Vanity, and allowing the round to open up. And I feel like that Yoru, just in general, looked so much stronger because of the opposite.
Because of the way that they were playing.
Like the way that they were playing, comp-wise as well.
Consideration.
Exactly.
You know, and you mentioned, I think it works better against MIBR this style, and that's true because MIBR will vacate space. NRG likes to re-clear and reclaim space in the mid-round to make it.
They don't want to give it to you for free.
Whereas MIBR, because they work as a pack, they're actually a really sick retake team outside of that split map when they have the sky flash to work on. Even then, they were way better at retakes.
They were still doing it.
They love retaking.
Which was impressive.
So that's something to look out for. It's really the post-plant scenarios are going to be the most compelling in this matchup. I think it's less of a question if C9 can get these spikes down. It's more of a question if they can really scale into these sites so they can lock MIBR out.
Honestly, there's just so much to learn and so much to discuss about these two teams, which has always been so exciting. And there's so much to break down. That's right, because we need a closer look at this matchup. And we decided to bring in the big guns. We needed some extra help. Folks, it's the return of the Breakdown Buddies.
Thank you, Golden Boy. We are back with another Breakdown Buddies. Unfortunately, I demanded this segment get removed from the show, yet here we are. Here I am, working with Bala against my contract stipulations. Let's get into this thing. What round have you got for me to explain today? Okay, it's looking like Cloud9 and MIBR. That makes sense. It's pretty relevant, obviously, to what's going on here today. And what do we got? MIBR, they're on attack. Sure, it's bind. I am seeing that, absolutely. They're going to go for hookah control. We've seen that before. Viper wall on A, but oh my god, it's a crunch. Oh my goodness, Cloud9, they're going to crunch through the TP any second now with this Yoru. Surely any second now. The boombot is broken, Oxy kills one, and then the TP comes in really late, and Zeppa's just kind of trapped in their ball. How are they going to react to this? Can you give me some information to work off of? You know, for as much as you've really used this telestrator, I was hoping the pace would be a little bit faster, but it looks like the MIBR... What? It looks like the MIBR team, they're going from all angles, long A, long B. They're working up mid R. Now we might be going a little too fast. And Mazid he's fighting through. I'm sorry. Can we do this at normal speed? Thank you. All right, so we're back to working up long. MIBR, they've gone back around. They're in this, 1-2-1. And I think right about now, oh, wow, okay, a nice little shot from Zin to even things out. He's ready with the Seekers. And on the opposite end, I like this move from FRZ. Pops the Viper's Pit over on B. Nice little distraction that's probably going to drag some rotations over to that side of the map. And it is. There goes Vanity. He's sprinting his little legs over to B. FRZ causing that distraction. Paula wants him to... He just has all these, he could go anywhere. The world is his oyster, is what you're telling me. Thank you, Paula. And in the meantime, Mazine, I think he's probably gonna pop those Seekers off, right? As this execute is coming up on the A side. You can see Vanity's having to rotate back. The Seekers come out. This is a really nice round from MIBR so far. And as that Seeker's going into back sight, yeah, Arton is updrafting. Oxy gets flashed, I believe, by a Sky Bird at the same time. Gets taken out by the knives. And then Mazine gonna be able to go out there with FRZ, who TP'd back after the distraction. This is just some honest-to-God good team play from MIBR, which is something we did not see last year, that we were hoping to see last year, that we're hoping to see now. And honestly, I feel like this has been a pretty positive start to Season 2 of Breakdown Buddies. Bala, I think we can, we can go from enemies to lovers. That'll be our arc for Season 2. GB, back to you.
I personally don't like that we learned anything there. And
just the tension of that entire
I feel like we gotta make it worse next time.
Dude,
how do we make it worse?
I was on a teleshow last weekend for the first time, and if I had to do that, I think I would literally just cry on air. Like, that was so intense, and I'd be so confused. Bala's arrows
Well, we found our next segment for Breakdown Buddies. We got her. Let's go. All right, folks. What do you think? I'm gonna do it? You think I'm gonna do it? You think I'm gonna do it? Look at me.
I gotta go. See ya.
All right, good try there, buddy. Anyway, folks, our coaches are ready for the map select, so let's go ahead and see where we're going and take a listen in.
Welcome, guys. As you know, teams were decided via coin flip. C9 will be Team A, and MIBR will be Team B. C9, you will have first map ban.
Ban split.
C9 ban split. What would you like to ban?
Icebox.
MIBR ban Icebox. And you will have first map pick.
Pick bind.
C9 pick bind. And would you like attack or defense?
Attack.
MIBR pick attack. And what map would you like?
We pick Ascent.
MIBR pick Ascent. And would you like attack or defense?
Defense.
C9 pick defense. And you have one map ban.
Ban Breeze.
C9 ban Breeze. And what would you like to ban?
We ban Lotus.
MIBR ban Lotus. Decider map will be Sunset. And would you like attack or defense?
Defense.
C9 pick defense. All right, best of luck today, guys.
Bind, Ascent, and Sunset will be the battleground for these two teams a second time in this tournament here. But we want to hear from you wonderful people in the chat. I was with you guys over the last 2 days, and I really had a good time. And be nice to one another. In any case, go home, and, well, you should be home, and make sure you go ahead and type in MIBR or C9. Trust me, I'm good at my job, and I know what I'm doing here. There it is, MIBR C9. Vote right now. Go ahead, have fun, vaya con Dios, whatever you got to do. Good luck. We'll see what happens, though. I'm curious to see what the community thinks, who's going to walk away with this win. Who do you think is going to walk away with this win?
Well, I thought the video was actually really interesting, and that's part of my sort of answer. I think Cloud9 will find success here. They ban split this time. They don't want to deal with it. They really struggled to get Whippy's utility on defense where it had to be. It might be I was super good at being like, we're not hitting the KJ side ever. Whippy's like, throws everything down, he's got it all ready. He's like, there's tinsel on the bloody tree, all the presents are there, and they just head down to Ben & Jerry's at the corner of the street. It was really... You ever done that?
I'm just saying I could go for some ice cream.
And opt for a very specific non-sponsoring ice cream chain instead. Just me?
Yes, okay. Non-specific. Well, here are the maps as they're laid out right now. We got Bind, Ascent, as well as Sunset, as I said before. You're right. We saw that veto on Split. Massive there. Myrna, what do you make of this?
I do think this veto has gone C9's way as well. I feel like the split ban makes so much sense. MIBR has had so much success on that. And so coming out of the gate, I don't know, C9's Ascent looked so good against NRG. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm voting C9. I think this is going to be a 2-0 for C9 because of these maps.
You see the community vote as well? It says 84%. By the way, guys, don't worry. I can see the screen now. 83,
You're
17.
say the same number anyway, whether you can see it or not. So
that's actually very true. But yes, wow, the community feels that C9 is going to walk away with this. Uber, what do you have?
Look, popular team. Again, I feel like they get the better of this. Like, I don't know if C9 really wants to play Icebox either, so I think that sort of ban from MIBR works in their favour. I'd love to get to Sunset. I want to see what it looks like on the run back because I think there's a ton to take away from the game against NRG.
I'm excited. This is going to be great. I hope you wonderful people at the Riot Games Arena is excited. You folks at home are pumped because today we have 6 teams that are going to be fighting for their lives. Great matches across the board. Day 7 of VCT America's Kickoff starts right now.
An assist from the wingman to get the clap onto RG, allowing Foxy to get his second ace!
Abriu, gastou o dash, tira a cara, Artizin vai pra cima! Meu Deus, Artizin!
I think playing MIBR again will be fun. I think they're a better team than most people expected. They looked really impressive against Furia, and against us they played really well as well, pushing us to the limit on 2 maps, and then destroying us on Split.
Gain control of Heaven. Oh, man. Artizin is on something different today.
Com certeza, eu tô muito animado pro jogo contra a Cloud9, porque a gente tá querendo aí uma revanche. Às vezes faltou um pouco mais de experiência em relação à afobação e à tranquilidade. A gente deixou a desejar, a gente entregou uns rounds, errou a comunicação, que muitas vezes custaram o jogo.
I think the first match, I think we definitely had a little bit of stage nerves. I mean, it's like 3 of our first times playing on stage, and I think that we adjusted a lot of things for this energy game and played a lot better. I think it'll be a good match, and I'm excited to play.
Just a delay, the planning works out. Close range with the Bucky, but it gets dodged. C9 flushed out and picked off. Vanity, a nice shot there. A 1v1, the jump long range with the judge. Now the gun gets picked up. Attack there from Vanity to tie up the game.
Eu acredito que naquele jogo nós erramos muito como time, então a gente quer essa revanche, a gente quer enfrentar eles, porque a gente sabe que dessa vez vai ser diferente.
Riot Games Arena, it's time to kick off this Sunday and bring out our first team. Give it up for Cloud9!
Gotta get to the final, take all of my idols and turn them to rivals. It's all or nothing, man, the trophy is vital. Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm destined for it all, you better call on me. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster.
E do outro lado, representando o Brasil e com sede de vingança, recebam MIBR!
Brasil original, nós leva a vida dura, mas sempre no alto astral. Mas admito, sou brasileiro, trabalhador que vai à luta, não desiste, merecedor dessas conquistas. Nascidos para o mundo, trago o Brasil no meu peito, em busca das vitórias. Responsa é com nós mesmos. Quando me perdi, encontrei comigo mesmo e tirei forças, eu não sei da onde. Amigos eu ganhei, perdi, são coisas da vida. O que me dói é minha família longe. Torcedores falham, outros me motivam. Vou persistir nessa longa estrada da vida. Vencer é obrigação, derrota é uma lição. Desistir pra nós não é mais opção. Hoje mesmo busco o que é nosso sonho.
Both teams are ready to take the stage and meet for a second time in this competition. It's exciting, and what's even more exciting is that now you guys can go out there and get those team capsules for your favorite squad. Make sure you represent them. They look awesome. There's like this prepared thing to read, but honestly, they're sick.
No, we don't like 40 times.
Just go and just buy them. They look really cool, and it supports the teams, which is the most important thing in esports, because without these guys, we don't have jobs. So I think, you know, that's very nice. Anyway, let's continue though and talk about this matchup at hand. Both teams want to win badly. Goes without saying, lose here, you're out of this competition, Uber. But It's more than that too. There's a time, right, that will become their enemy, because if they don't win this, it's a long time before they're going to be playing on that stage again. So for a lot of these squads, it's about preservation.
Absolutely. One of my favorite vanity quotes ever is Valorant players would win first place in the war versus working. That's what he tends to think about many of his compatriots out there grinding for the top. And Cloud9 would love to be at Madrid. They don't want to have to spend that next period of time just scrimming, training. Yeah. These guys put the work in the off-season.
But can you imagine, though, you're on the other side, MIBR, you have 2 championship-winning coaches, and then you don't make it to Madrid, Athena.
Yeah,
that is a rough one.
That's so rough. You have so much to prove, so much on your shoulders. And now coming into this, you know, they have played this team before, so they're going to look to kind of overcome that obstacle and step up to victory on this stage.
We're looking at a team, MIBR, who everybody in their punditry said there is nothing to be excited about with this team before they came into the VCT. They've proven everybody wrong in that respect. They've shown a great depth of gameplay, incredible discipline, and fantastic cohesion as a unit. But we're looking for more, just a little bit more. They don't need a superstar. They definitely need to clobber Cloud9.
Yeah, that is going to be the most important thing here for MIBR. Make a statement, but C9 knows that for MIBR, well, they feel like they have their number here. Here come the agent select as it starts to get locked in here. Right out of the gate, nothing too crazy here for Bind.
Yeah, I feel like we're probably going to see that Yoru again. We're going to see the same comp. And the thing is about Bind, the thing is about Bind that C9 struggled with was that their retakes weren't the best. And I feel like MIBR has constantly been on their retake game. They don't care about having too little util. They still use it to their advantage. Even with that Sky Flash and the way that Sky has been nerfed, they're still abusing the flashes. They're still abusing the fact that maybe these Brim Smokes have run out. And so it's going to be interesting. I feel like if they still continue with this playstyle, both these teams have a really good shot.
Oxy is very good on the defense side in the early round, just like taking contact for a first pick, just randomly. Sometimes swing out a hookah, sometimes you like pick that B-long.
Giving you that 4v5 advantage at the beginning is huge.
Exactly, and B-long will be a hotly contested part of the map no matter what side C9 is on. They really are fighting, they value that orb. You'll see a lot of defensive pops on that side of the map to try and find an advantage there and close it off from the attacker.
Yeah, and I feel like without the Sentinel too, we're gonna have to see like a lot of plays coming out from Yoru, so maybe they have some sort of cooked up idea to counter getting that Yoru into that space. Like you said, getting into U-Haul, allowing Viper to lurk. I feel like these are all things that both teams are gonna have to think about when it comes to it.
MIB have changed up their tack. They actually have double initiator coming into this map, which is obviously a little bit different. Last time it was Jet, Brim, Viper, Sky, Raze.
Hey, Sonic said give me all the flashes. So I guess maybe that's exactly what you're looking for here, all the flashes, potentially. This is going to be a fascinating game, and for a number of reasons, because these two teams have played against each other, because we now know what each squad is capable of. It just makes it that much more exciting. Pay attention to the retake. See how these teams play against one another. This is going to be awesome, and we are ready for the first pistol round, so let's go ahead and send it over to the best dressed casters in the biz. Sorry, Mitch, you know, I love you, buddy. It's Doug and Baby Bay.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Look, we've got to get right into this. We've got to talk about the comp differences. We've seen this matchup between these two teams. We've seen it on this map, but the minor adjustment of the double initiator comp. Dre, give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think my BR, like their whole game plan now after the last series they played against C9 is to try to deny Oxy from getting anything going early on, or getting these first bloods that he gets. And I think that's why we're seeing the KO. They can knife these certain areas like B-Long, like showers, to get info on where Oxy is playing. No more shenanigans of this Yoru TPing, taking the teleporters, stuff like that, and trying to finesse sites like that. So I think that's the whole point. Now, is that the best choice for them to just change your comp last second? I don't know, because they looked great with the double duelist, but we're gonna get right into things right here.
We'll see what sort of scoundrel antics Oxy has up his sleeve this time around.
And there's that knife already trying to get info, but it lands too late. They're
ahead of it. MIBR creeping forward towards A. There's only one member of the defensive side over there, and of course, as I say that, Oxy TPs joining Whippy. Starting to strengthen those defenses just a bit. They're starting to work their way up past the Viper util. They're going to get out onto the site, and they should be able to do so pretty freely.
And we're already seeing C9 sticking to that game plan of trying to disrupt the post plant. And this is the point coming in.
FRZ was ready for it, but Vanity still winning that duel out. took a little bit of damage. Artzine's not finding any success either. Cloud9 have been able to very slowly but carefully pick apart every single member of MIBR. JCC, the only one left standing. Oxy and Vanity both weak. Jake will fall, but he's just going to be able to hold the defuse the entire way. Pistol in favor of the defense.
Just smothering that post plant is C9. Getting the kill on the flank and surviving and applying that pressure, and then just getting pinched from both sides. Beautiful game plan from C9 right off the rip here to set the pace for themselves. And now Oxy has a Bulldog, and we've seen how treacherous this guy can be with his gun.
You know, I want to get your thoughts on this too, because we just saw right out of the gates, Cloud9, they're going to be applying a ton of flank pressure.
Yes.
Do you see a difference in how that will play out, given that they're running double initiator now instead of double duelist like they were doing before? Do you see that playing out differently?
I don't think MIBR expected that fast of aggression. Like you saw the whole idea, right? Getting this knife down and hopefully getting the tag on the Yoru before he pushes down. But C9 just seemed to like understand that, and they're ahead of it already, right?
There's Oxy making that Bulldog sing. Very quickly making his way over to his ult. Now 2 points away. You imagine that will be a part of the conversation very soon. As FRZ is just kind of left in tatters, and that gives us a little bit more time for you to nerd out about the game and tell us what's happening.
Yeah. So just off the rip here, obviously MIBR is going for a game plan change, right? They want to try to find out where Oxy is, see where he's at. And C9 already, like I said, ahead of the meta, or ahead of what MIBR is trying to do. But I want to see something from MIBR here. I want to see, instead of them playing out so much on their post plants, maybe trying to disrupt the retake, you know? Because I feel like when you think of MIBR and their gameplay, they're really focused on the fundamentals. They want to play a clear post plant. Nice highlight here from the Bulldog of Oxy, and he's already having a hot start. And I was talking to you about this earlier. Is Oxy, you don't want him to start off like this.
I mean, remember how much of a fit he caused MIBR the last time they played. He was all over the place, and as we've touched on, MIBR have made differences and they've made changes in how they're approaching this game in order to try to deal with that. But so far, it hasn't really netted any different results. We'll see if the case turns out to be a slightly different tune now that they have guns, now that they're able to fight back on better footing. Spike, excuse me, not even picked up right now. They're trying to feel out the map, see what they find, and then respond.
Yep. And, you know, this KO knife, it gives great info for the attacking side, but also, you know where the enemy is knifing when you're on C9 right now, right? You're aware, okay, they knifed Tuka, there's probably a guy gonna be in there, right? And that's why the reclear is coming out here. Missed the dog, but I don't know if you saw him right there.
Yeah, no, I don't think it went deep enough to spot him. So either he has to use a little bit more utility, he has another flash.
There it is.
Yeah, it just got used to confirm his suspicions. Meanwhile, MIBR are not really interested in messing with B. They have their eyes set on A, where 3 members of Cloud9 are. They're going to commit out onto this. A trade, a 1-for-1 at the beginning. Jake trying to hold back sight with the Bulldog, finding success. 23 HP left. The nade was perfect. What is he waiting for here? Oxy finding his right time to go through the teleporter. Spike still not playing it. They had to clear out U-Haul. They've succeeded. And they do so with a numbers advantage. But do they know where Oxy is? His timing should be perfect. He doesn't have any armor, but it might not matter. 13 seconds left. The first falls. Cloud9 wiped the floor with MIBR again.
And the mind games, Doug, already from Oxy. Takes the TP, but doesn't go right away out shower. Wraps around short. Makes MIBR really have to think about where this Yoru is. And that's just straight from the pistol round too, Doug, right? Yep. He pushed all the way down B long, then TP'd into heaven. Where is this guy playing, right? So MIBR so far not able to identify where Oxy is in these early rounds, and he's getting tremendous value on this Yoru because of that.
I mean, even just that little hesitation that you were mentioning as he comes out of TP, doesn't instantly go showers. I always love seeing what he says across the stage. It's just that brief moment is just enough to instill doubt, to instill misdirection in the minds of their opponents, and you're right, it causing problems.
And MIBR actually did a great job there of keeping 2 people on the B site, you know? I think it was Artson who was in that hookah area, staying there, getting hit by the Sky Flash on purpose to keep players there. Actually made Oxy invest his ult. I know it's crazy, he already had an ult round, round 3, but nevertheless, C9 was able to take the round win.
Space taken in showers, the orb should be Cloud9's for the taking. They might also have JZZ pretty easily. He satchels across, he still wins out that fight, and that's with help on the other side. From the Seekers, the Flash, Vanity repositioning, and the Spam lands a shot.
That's just a good feels, man, you know? Feels good, man. Little spray, full blind, gets the headshot.
And Molly's keeping him back for a little bit. Again, they still haven't been able to commit to getting the spike down. They seem uncomfortable. On the site, whenever they get some space, it seems like they're not satisfied with what they're getting. They want to try to take more, and it once again is their demise. He's able to trade it back, but that's another round in favor of Cloud9.
I like what MIBR was trying to do there, right? They understand that they're getting choked from every angle. They know there's pressure on the flank, so they want to push spawn there, and very, very great awareness and heads-up awareness from Jake there. And he gets 2 on that, and this is something very, very new. I don't think we've seen Vanity with the op yet. Oh
Timeout called from MIBR. You're right. I don't think we've seen that. You're going to take a look at this kill one more time. I think for Cloud9, I want to harken back to the last time we saw these two teams play. Yeah, that's just dumb.
That's crazy.
That's just dumb. The last time they played, remember, started off on Bind in the series. Both teams thrifted each other, right? At the very beginning of both halves, so it was a much closer affair. This has not been that way at all. The Cloud9 snowball is already rolling. They've got money for days. Vanity was able to buy an op, assuming it's going to go into Oxy's hands, but they already have such a nice padding. Financially, their ults are cycling really well. This could get out of hand very quickly.
Yeah, and it all started with that aggressive playstyle that we know C9 to have. Like, and teams expect it, but where is it going to happen? Like, you already saw MIBR was so unaware that they were pushed all the way down, and that's a big problem when you're trying to do a default or just like a set pistol, right? Their set pistol was to go A from the start of the round, and when you're not spread out around the map, you get no info that they're actually pushed past that KO dagger, and that ends up being a thorn in your back.
The Optel's going to the hands of Oxy, 6-0. An excellent start for the duelist, who admittedly struggled, especially the last time we saw him on Yoru against NRG. A much better start for him here.
Yeah, we saw him second guessing himself quite a bit in that NRG series on the Yoru, going for those aggro plays.
A rare miss, but the threat is there. It's been identified.
He stays. I love this from operators. This is what you want your op to do. Stay until they absolutely push you back. Stay as long as you can.
Yeah,
make them burn more utility. Make them do all these things. Look, he's still there, and now he's out.
He got the Roomba out. He got a flash out. He got plenty of utility out. You're absolutely right.
All those things matter going into the mid-round and late-round post-plant scenarios. Info getting regathered here onto long B, so they're aware that there is 2 there. But I don't know how aware they are of FRZ into this U-Haul area.
He was really far up. I thought Whippy was going to get the best of him, but no. Orbital strike. He's separating things for just a moment. FRZ does fall at the hands of Jake.
I think he had nowhere to go. I think
he was stuck.
The raise nade from Zeppo was perfect there.
So MIBR finally managed to get the spike down. What can Cloud9 do to respond? The dog in the lap of Oxy. It's been cleared out. No late flank, nothing like that. It's just going to be a fight for the site. They're taking their time with it.
I'm glad you pointed that out. Look at how worried they are of the flank. They're still looking now.
You've got freaking Secret Service protecting RGL right now as he tries to put up the molly. And it buys enough time. Vanity gets caught for exploring. There's the molly.
It is half, though.
Oxy did manage to get it part of the way there. JZZ on the flash, confirming there's nobody sticking it. They should be able to get this round on the board.
And that's just the classic MIBR post-plant. Yeah. So fundamentally good. The molly came out so early before the tap even came in. And, you know, Vanity not clearing U-Haul there. That's tough. That's tough. I think we got to have like a counter of how many times we see somebody half clear an angle, you know?
Yeah, I feel like we've had a lot of those. You're absolutely right.
And it's so tough, right? Because, you know, if you take that second timing to not clear it, if he's not there, you might get the perfect timing to get a kill on somebody else, right?
Exactly.
But if you don't clear it, then this happens to you, and the whole retake is just chalked. So
very quickly, as we're just a few moments away from entering the next round, Oxy still has that op. Zeppa satcheled him on top of Truck. So he's going to have an angle that you wouldn't necessarily expect him to have.
Especially for a Yoru.
Yeah.
I don't think he put his TP down at all either, so he's committed to this A site. A big knife here. That's a different knife that we've seen so far. That's to clear all of Octagon. And the teleporter where Oxy was playing previously. Just cutting noise here.
You can tell what the plan was for MIBR there. That deep smoke from the brim, allowing just enough space for our team to get that orb. Now one away from having a showstopper.
And I think what you're going to see here now is, Vanity is going to get info here around this hookah area. They're aware that they are in Long Beach.
They're concussed.
And that's so much info. You see the Raze and the KO not pushed up Long B, all the way in the back.
Dre, I think they might end out flipping all the way back A, getting the orb in showers, and then hitting with Artzin's ult. We'll see if they have that much time or they just want to go short. Yeah, this seems like they are creeping up that way. Concealed behind the Viper util. There's the position. He was patient, but an awesome trade. Zeppa there punishing back a 3v3. They've invested the Seekers as the fight goes into disarray. He satchels away to stay alive and preserve his life. Manages to do so.
Spike planted.
I always get so impressed with these like last second satchel maneuvers, you know, where they just get out.
They're playing a different game. This is going to be really tough for Cloud9 too. RGL has his orbital strike. Once again, the post-plant scenario is going to be a factor.
Great tap from Vanity to bait out that breach ult, or that brim ult.
And it's early too. I mean, as soon as they get the fights that they want, there's still plenty of time for them to stick to this.
What was that?
That looked like a mistake. We'll take a look at that one more time. Whippy's going to have to do it on his own. There's a showstopper, and it just buys time. I mean, he can hold this the entire way. Whippy has no real choice. Nicely done.
Beautiful post plant from MABR, but C9, what did you get out of that? You got Brim ult out, you got Raze rocket out. These are all good things, even though you lost the round, right? To set you up for the future half. And a good buy coming out here. And, you know, that trade was so clean from JZZ and so fast. It was perfect. Not allowing Oxy to get out in time. So crucial. A little bit of a momentum shift too here. C9 doesn't want any of that. They're going to go into a timeout.
Throw the brakes on it before it gets out of hand. MIBR finally starting to respond, get a couple of rounds together. And I think, you know, you touched on it, Dre. It very much feels like that's their approach. They want to get the spike down and get enough comfort in feeling like they can do that, and then it's all post-plant. It's either Brim mollies through the sky or Zolt, things like that. It seems like that's their approach here.
Yeah, and I see what C9 was doing, you know, setting the pace by flanking the early rounds, making them play all the way back for the future post-plants, but if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I kind of still want to see them applying pressure on that flank because it's so obvious what MIBR's game plan is here with these post-plants. Playing the molly, playing the Brim ult there. They still had Raze nade that deep into the round.
Which is wild, yeah.
Yeah.
On the other side of the timeout, we'll see how things are approached from the defensive side. If we're going to see a lot more of those flanks, Oxy hasn't really made any big, aggressive, space-taking plays either, although he's still performing exceptionally well, much like we saw him the first time these two teams met.
Yeah, and I kind of want to see mind games out of C9. I want to see Oxy get deliberately hit by these knives and then change his position, or even just stay thinking that MIBR would have pushed him out of these angles where he gets hit by the dagger, right?
Well, he got hit with that one.
So let's see what happens.
But he doesn't have his TP anywhere, so no misdirection, at least yet.
They hear him shoot here too, so they know he's still in sight.
Ult picked up. Ult online. In the face of the flash, they pause for a moment and then commit. The dog's going to clear out hookah. There are only 2 members here on side.
Great dog.
Tried getting away with murder, and he's ultimately punished for it. Bazine gets the ult down. He gets 2 kills. The side is wide open.
And this is why the KO is so good, just in general on this map.
Oh boy. JZZ got overwhelmed there. Spike planted. Remember, we've talked about how it seems like their approach is in post plants and utility. They do not have that here. They have no spits for FRZ. Our team doesn't have his nade.
Oh,
that was dope.
Missed molly. Or was that? Yeah, that was a missed molly.
Yeah, where do they go from here? Satcheling out. They're going to have to deal with the pit. FRZ playing inside of it. It's still in play, a 1v2. Can he dance around his utility long enough to clutch to stay out? The first snap onto it is clean. Peeks out, make sure there's no challenge as he sees Bullet dancing around him. He's going to stick it. Oh, he was off of it. The Red Bull clutch for FRZ as he gets 3.
Stone cold from FRZ, getting another clutch to his name. And that was great. You know, I spoke about MIBR playing out so much on these post plants. This time, opting to use an aggressive Viper ult all the way deep into their spawn. Ends up working out for him, even though nobody came from spawn, but that KO ult is what set this entire round up. They were aware Oxy was there and stuck because he spammed through the smoke. They knew 2 people were there. So when the sight hit actually came in and we invest that KO ult, there's no utility to be used, nowhere for them to go. All we had was the Viper wall to be thrown up.
And that was all they needed. They've got the Roomba just didn't see him. It didn't tag him at all.
Heads up play here from MIBR. That causes them to just contact their way in, take that timing.
A bit of fake info.
It's a heavy short setup here from C9.
Well, due to a false sense of security, Mazine gets opener, Zeppa falls, Jake tries to respond and he cannot. Oh, that was a big shot. Yeah, that was huge. But ultimately traded.
That was clean.
Now, Vanity does have a rifle. He's 1 away.
In their last matchup, he was the guy that was bringing rounds back every single time for them. Not this time, though, it appears. And I just want to break down what happened in this round, especially around showers. Checking the smoke, right? Just walking in after util was thrown. Now C9 is aware, okay, these guys like to contact through smokes. You're going to see somebody stay in that shower smoke now and hold it. Maybe get a punish here and there. Vanity, Seekers online, Zeppa with rocket. No ults too close for the likes of C9 or for the likes of MIBR.
No, I mean, it's really just Mazine who's what, halfway there? A little bit more than halfway?
Not really a change of setup from C9 either. Still playing this 2-3 setup. Vanity and Oxy towards the B side of the map. Haggard doesn't get any info.
No, I mean, they've been here a lot. They've lost to the spam already coming through, and Vanity gets tagged.
Here comes the reclear.
They're not expecting him. Oh, smart. Realizes it's a clone, tries to punish on Oxy, and he gets away. Oh, dancing with death.
A lot of info gathered here from MIBR now, though. And you already see the rotation from Jake going back to that A site.
The dog to re-clear out long. Oh, and it's not going to see anyone.
If I'm MIBR here, I'm calling my team back. They just dogged long. Come back, come back.
I mean, FRZ's going. He's by himself. I don't know that Mazine's going to get there in time.
Wow.
Oxy falls. Is there a flash for Vanity? He does have it, but decides he wants to try to get away and survive. He's been surrounded now.
And that opens up the blast packs out of hookah.
And he got flashed.
Wow.
What a setup. Vanity not able to get away, not able to survive.
Beautiful team play there. Awareness of FRZ, understanding that C9 wanting to go for those flanks.
Cloud9 are calling for a save here. They have no interest in trying to get this back, but JZZ's in a position to where he might be able to get 1 or 2 more weapons down. You see the financial situation from Cloud9, it's dire.
And by the way, he took this showers area without any utility.
Yeah.
He just used this dog recently. When we saw him in there earlier, he didn't use anything. He just checked it, so that's a lot of info gathered on the map for MIBR.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that MIBR is not pushing a little bit more and trying to get these weapons out, knowing that you have a numbers advantage, knowing where JZZ is on the map. Oh gosh, knife out. Takes the flash, tries to take the fight, and instead it's MIBR who have lost the weapon.
It's so awkward for a JZZ right here.
I'm really surprised they didn't get away with more there.
Just look at how the momentum of this game has changed. C9 starts off strong, right? Sets the pace with these flanks. A second timeout is about to come out here. Wow. But MIBR bringing it back after their timeout. And honestly, off a team play, not even heroics. Just good fundamental gameplay. That pop flash off of the blast packs. So clean. Look at me already.
And you know,
already reacting.
Dre, we've talked about this a lot for MIBR. Fundamentally, their sound, and it, you know, a critique of theirs has been that you could argue that there may be too sound, there may be too fundamental. Yeah. They don't play very loose, but so far it's those fundamentals that have gotten them back in this game.
Yeah, and in their previous matchup, what stopped them was that star power from these players of C9, like winning these clutch rounds. Oxy just being an absolute demon in the server. Zeppa, exactly, getting getting crazy multi-kills, 3Ks, 4Ks out of nowhere, right? There was a big case to be argued that MIBR could have honestly beat them the first time. I felt like they played a better overall team game than C9 did in their first matchup.
5 rounds in a row for MIBR.
Still a very close game, Doug.
And what, 3 ults to work with for Cloud9?
And let's see what Oxy can do with this Yoru ult. As of late, in that last series, he was getting punished heavily by the likes of NRG.
Yeah, we've only seen it once this half, if memory serves me right, and it didn't amount to very much.
Yeah, he just tried to get info around the B area, but the hit was on A, so.
Look at how much respect they're showing.
No early knife from Mazin this round.
They're so far back. They're expecting aggression from Cloud9, and it's just not coming.
And honestly, that's something that's very common that you see. A lot of teams believe that, you know, after a team pauses, okay, maybe they're gonna do a set play, right? Maybe they're gonna do something aggressive. So you're gonna see a lot of teams default on stuff like this. And this is gonna be a rocket bait setup in showers. Look at MIBR getting all this info, jiggling corners, dogging up Belong. Sees nothing on the dog.
I mean,
free real estate.
Yeah, both teams are really starving each other of info right now. But RGL, we highlighted him, the Des did at the beginning of the show. He continues to shine.
Look
for
at
this
this
squad. FRZ as well. Cloud9 crumbling.
It's so clean from MIBR.
What's tough here too is they've gotten all of these kills on A, but the hit was B. The spike was B. That's where they wanted to go, but you talk about finding success and the rich getting richer. They got kills everywhere.
It's so smart, Doug, what their game plan is. They understand that off of the dog Belong, right? That's going to cause the defenders to maybe want to rotate, maybe move out of their setup that they had on A. You see Oxy starting to move off of a shower angle, gets picked off by somebody holding him, right? That was RGL. FRZ was already pushed up into that U-Haul with his Viper Lurk utility, right? Gets another guy that was rotating from Hookah to maybe TP. It just dismantles the entire defense of C9. A hard read from MIBR that round.
And that's what it results in, a flawless situation. I mean, perfect.
And now they're hunting for guns too. Confidence building for MIBR.
My fingers. Multiple fingers.
6 rounds in a row, the financial situation for Cloud9 just continues to kind of sputter. They got a couple of Buckies here, a Guardian to work with, and this is, again, we talked about RGL, how good he was. FRZ was finding value on the other side of the map. Vanity got caught. That was as close to a perfect round as you could possibly ask for.
And all these kills based off of a reaction from one dog.
Yeah.
One dog Belong caused Oxy to peek out of shower, move from his spot. When Oxy goes down, now the Hookah guy is trying to, or the U-Haul guy is trying to get info again on short A, gets taken down. Just getting suffocated around the entire map.
Here's some of the aggression that MIBR were expecting. 3 have just pushed down A short, 2 have stayed, as Jake is going to rotate back B. So they've got to know the hit is B here. No real knowledge of what's happening in showers, but a little bit of ruckus made on B, and that should confirm where the hit is. Whippy's up close. He's got to get both, but he can't. Just one found. Ult invested. The flash out as he lands it. On to Vanity, and MIBR again finds success.
Flipping the site from MIBR. Very wise to do so.
This is winnable here for Cloud9. Zeppa has a rifle. Oxy has a rifle. They both have ults. And it's a 2v3.
We've seen this from Oxy before.
Can he do it again?
Is he aware of Hookah though?
One enemy remaining.
It's all on to Oxy now. Understanding where the first is. Couple shots clean. Tap onto the spike. The flash out. No challenge yet. Just buying his time.
Wow.
He doesn't take that, does he? No, he doesn't. The flash is there, and RGL turns on him. Oh, that was almost something.
MIBR looking very clean right now, Doug.
Before the switch.
Not letting it slip away this time.
They're just rolling.
Not letting heroics be the factor in this half. Getting the trades. And honestly, not letting Oxy just have his way with them.
Which again, yeah, exactly. That was the win condition for Cloud9 last time they played.
And talk about resilience too, like for the mental. Being down 0-4 off the rip. It's such an important match for your team. Live or die.
Yeah. Elimination on the line. You've got to commit. You've got to convert. You've got to do it here.
C9 have been sitting on these ults for like the last 4 rounds, but they've been getting so outplayed that they can't even use them.
Perhaps a bit more willingness to invest those here. Mazine gets the ult again. I feel like they've just farmed this orb all half.
And look, they've constantly just been walking into showers. But C9 is here to check them. Huge 1v1.
I mean, they're getting everything they want.
Wow.
Zeppa with a great trade, though. They commit the ult. They've got the secrets down as well from Vanity on the opposite side of the map. There's a big timing that Ardzine can hit here. But they just cut noise. They throw the brakes on it again. I really like this from MIBR. I really like how they're approaching this.
Putting doubt in the minds of C9. And you might see a TP. Yep. There it is. But Oxy's already here, and he has full utility. But they're doubling back. The double lurk strat, Doug.
The thing is, Cloud9 haven't moved a ton. I mean, Oxy flipped because he could, because of his TPs, and he's already back A. They keep trying to find just a small time window to find weakness in the defense, but Oxy's ahead of it. Now they're going to commit. All the ults have been used. The flash is great. Zeppa's on the swing. The spike does not go down as he gets 3. Mazine left alone, a nade at his feet, and the round in favor of Cloud9.
And MIBR cooking a little too much right there. I respect it, you know. You're playing bind. You want to use the TPs.
Yeah,
you gotta have a round where you do the around the world, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta have that. At least one of the rounds.
Switching sides.
And take a look at that one more time. I mean, they were intent on trying to get around Oxy, and the approach was great.
Man, and the KO ult just a second too late.
Yeah. Zeppa cleaning things up off of that flash. It was a beautiful setup from Cloud9, and a really important one given they had lost 7 rounds in a row. They were struggling to get back in the saddle and start to find some success.
VALORANT is just so crazy that the timeline is 4 rounds to 7 rounds back to back.
Well, you know, we talk often about how difficult it is to win rematches. We're actually going to take a listen from Ardzine and why he thinks MIBR will win this rematch and advance the play-ins.
Com certeza, eu tô muito animado pro jogo contra a Cloud9, porque a gente tá querendo aí uma revanche. A gente deixou muito a desejar no jogo contra ele, né, na MD3. Mas agora a gente tá com esse gostinho assim de revanche e com certeza a gente vai mostrar um resultado diferente do que a gente mostrou na primeira série.
So he said that.
Oh, Dre, he's keeping up to his word. He said it was going to be different, and he understands that they underperformed the last time they played. This has been a very different song.
And he's somebody who I think is going to develop into a great duelist for this team and in the league in general.
Yeah.
I think that MIBR last season lacked a star player, like an X-Factor player, when Heat, you know, was ultimately benched from the roster.
Sure.
And now they have somebody who I see that they believe in him. Like, they let him overheat. And for a rookie to overheat like that, yeah, you're going to get punished a lot, but it's a good sign that he has the confidence to try to make those plays. And with more time and experience, he'll just get better and better at it.
Yeah, it's been fun to listen to you watch his gameplay and go like, yeah, I love this style. It feels a lot like you in a lot of ways.
Yeah, he's just fearless, you know, even if he's getting punished. I like that he's testing those boundaries and seeing how much he can get away with before getting punished. And I think that just with more experience, like I said, he'll know when the right moments are to overheat.
And ultimately, I mean, if you're building a team, if you're putting together a roster that is so fundamentally sound, you want that on your team, right? You want somebody who can be that spark. And yeah, maybe it doesn't always work out, but someone who's willing to try to make a play. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, exactly. Because when you think about all these duelists you're going up against in the league, like even Oxy, the likes of Oxy, who Demon One said is the worst duelist, right? It's like the level of duelist is so high, that you need to have somebody like that can just get you these 4Ks. And he's had a great half so far.
Still plenty of Valorant to play, though. Cloud9 kept it competitive at the end. They managed to stay within 2, and this pistol could really evaporate that 7-round lead. Or streak, excuse me, that MIBR put together. The opener in favor of Oxy. Mazine's already down.
Wow. Good reaction from C9, getting the first blood, and they had sight, but they heard 2 people through the TP, and they take a counter TP themselves, but now they're just stuck.
Yeah, they had to take a step back because of the molly from RGL.
How is Zeppa in?
Oh, we're here again, are we?
In spawn right now.
We're back to this. I mean, they just hold, they freeze, and they let Zeppa do what he can. Surprise.
No way!
Yeah, RGL continues to be a rock for this team.
That is so unfortunate for Zeppa. He had the play, he had the timing.
All right, now look at this. If they creep up A, you've still got 2 members from MIBR who are behind you, and surely you're not expecting that. Of course, as I say that, Vanity turns around and cleans up Arts in. Expecting a second. He saw the flank!
30 seconds left.
Nobody expects the double flank. RGL again. 3 bullets left. It's not going to work. A 2v2 and the spike is trapped. They're going to try to flip the map. They succeed. They've gotten out.
And they better commit this time. Surely we jump through. Yes.
I mean, 13 seconds left. You don't have a choice.
10 seconds left.
Any util to think about. JZZ is his dog, but he tries to flood out. He tries to take matters into his own hands, and he succeeds with it. Jake.
And here comes the dog.
Has
1 HP.
1 HP.
First dog kill.
1 HP.
Almost.
Not able to land the shots. It was way too much for him to deal with there. That pistol's huge, man.
And C9 there. I don't know if they got delayed by a molly. I wasn't able to see, but
out of showers.
You gotta think. Maybe they should have fully committed onto that.
Well, it was RGL's molly.
So he did molly them off.
Yeah,
right,
he had never left A.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he had never left A, and as soon as the TP went off, he repositioned and dropped it. There was no way for them to get out.
Great job from RGL in that entire round. Killing the flank. Beautiful flick and clean shots. Delaying the showers TP. Sets up the entire retake for them. Whoa, multiple different retakes, right?
Yeah.
3 retakes that round. Retake on B, retake on A.
Now, we've seen this out of Cloud9 a lot so far in this kickoff tournament. They're forcing, after losing a pistol, this situation no different. They've got Stingers, they've got Spectres, they've got a little bit of everything.
And if I'm MIBR, I'm definitely reading into this. And that's why you see the Viper Molly out there.
Yeah.
Huge. Perfect anti-eco, anti-buy, honestly, from MIBR. A lot of teams opting to buy, like you said, and usually they go through hookah, get those close range fights.
Room of finding a little something.
Very smart of Oxy to break that with his classic. Might put doubt into the minds of MIBR if this is a buy or not.
Toxins going up.
They haven't shown much, but they also haven't really taken much. The only real space they had was showers, and then Oxy had to give it back.
Dagger should be coming back online here for this hit.
I think it'll
in 15 seconds. Won't be here in time, but
yeah. He won't be here in time though. And
great KO Molly.
They're doing such a good job of keeping him back with utility. The KO Molly, the Brim Molly from the previous round. MIBR just not allowing anything through.
Wow. I don't know how Whippy gets some of these kills with the crosshair he has. I gotta be honest, man.
It works for him.
But you're 100% correct, though. How do you deny players from going off and taking fights? Utility.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that was so annoying to me as a player, was getting util bombed out and not even being in a spot where I could shoot my gun.
Sure.
I'm just losing off of pure utility, right? It's the worst feeling as a duelist.
And I would think especially when you're trying to make a play and make things happen. You're down 4 rounds, you know, you lost the pistol. That's where the duelist is supposed to go in and provide a spark.
Now utility just stops you dead in your tracks, punishes you. Another like light buy going into this round. Put Mods in.
Spike down.
Speaking of utility, doesn't even need it.
Yeah, the best utility is the Vandal, I guess. That knife getting a little info. Whippy once again finding a kill that we'll just continue to wonder how he gets away with it.
RGL did play here previously.
The Molly's a little late this time, but Artine is not.
That's what we were talking about. You know, Oxy wants to make these plays, needs to make them, honestly. But MIBR just more aware this time around.
He's in the smoke. Do they know he's there? RGL falls.
This is a crucial round for MIBR. For not just confidence when they're up numbers, but for how their previous matchup went.
One enemy
They
remaining.
want to try to put Cloud9 away. Don't afford really any window, or any opportunity to get back into this thing. That's a 5-round lead for MIBR. It felt like this was going to happen earlier. Like, I thought this is where we were going to be, but in the first half, MIBR still managed to reestablish control.
And this is the danger. Oh, let's see this replay real quick. Oh, he didn't even
The
see
second one was
Vanity.
free, yeah.
Yeah, he could have gotten 3 kills right there, honestly. But this is where you see that force by coming in to honestly be really disastrous for C9 because already 10 rounds on the board for MIBR. And this first gun round, Oxy doesn't even have a Vandal.
Look at how aggressive they're going down long. Vanity's caught. He has nowhere to go. But he might be okay with it as he gets 2.
I have the spike.
What a stand. But can FRZ do a bit of the same on the opposite side of the map? Seeker's used. JZZ trying to do his best to clear him out. Is he going to commit to this flank?
Picks up the Vandal.
Yeah, he scoops up a weapon. He is going to go the conventional way. Meanwhile, Cloud9 have taken U-Haul. They're concerned about what's happening behind him. You've got Whippy, who's making sure there's not a late flank as the dog clears out showers.
Here's the doors open up. Should be the info. But there is one on the flank, but where?
They've got to do something to get him out of U-Haul. No real post-plant. Whippy has a spit, but again, I don't think it's going to matter. Whippy with, or excuse me, Vanity with 3 on the round. FRZ left alone. Maybe finds a way to play around his utility, but again, he's heavily outnumbered and outgunned here. Oxy's just going to take care of it up close and personal as they finally get another round.
And you are 100% correct. MIBR there needed to at least either take short A control or take the U-Haul control. Very smart of C9 to spread out onto that post plant, giving them showers control, holding the flank, controlling 2 areas of the map in the post plant. Which makes it so hard for the defending team to retake.
But also, to go back to what we were talking about previously, heroics from Cloud9. It kept them in the game, it won them the series. Last time they played, Vanity's 2K there. I mean, without it, they probably don't get that round.
And honestly, in that replay, you know, usually we hear a lot of hype out of C9, a lot of energy. Right now, a little bit lacking in that department.
Our team takes a dry challenge. Across short, there was no knife over the top or flash or anything. Maybe cooking a little bit too much. They wanted to take some space, and it seemed like it was going to be, what, a really delayed crunch through sand and short, but it doesn't pay off.
And honestly, if I was teams prepping against C9 now, I would understand that if I'm not seeing Vanity use his Sky utility somewhere early on, that he's somewhere holding the flank from spawn. I mean, we've seen this on other maps as well, not just this one. Something to read into for these teams. Moving forward.
Even with the numbers advantage they have, though.
Like, he's still in spawn right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see, putting doubt in the minds of MIBR, but at this point, when you're down 3v5, you just want to gamble, stack the site. Get the save in if they hit the other site.
They've spotted one. Nothing really to follow up, but the second there. He could TP out or he could stay. Decides to go back showers, and they're going to flip the map, but what do MIBR do in response? They stay.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on this really quickly. A 5v3. You rather flip the map or just play your numbers?
I would definitely, I think they made the right choice here, right? Oxy got all the info. You know everyone's on A. You already had 3 people towards B that can beat the rotate. A lot of people would be surprised at how fast you can beat the rotate on any map, really, if you get the correct info. Like even if from the moment Oxy had seen them with his ult, even if they decided to run, you can already beat the rotations if you're leaned, right? That 2-second timing, 3-second timing that they're sitting there debating if Oxy's gonna go for a crazy play, you know?
That's just enough, yeah.
It's enough time to take the site, so very, very good calling from Vanity and Lexus C9. And honestly, I like what MIBR did here too, right? They went down 2 people very early on. And you have to gamble stack, and maybe if Oxy had not had Yoru ult, maybe they have a chance at bringing that round back, but this allows them to get a save in.
They tried. They might make the other 2 weapons carry over. Yeah, they bring those over. So there's going to be enough to put something together. But a big response from Cloud9. Just when it felt like it was going to get out of reach, they respond.
And in a very funny fashion too, right? We're talking about how C9 is the ones that were trying to make all the plays, and now they just slow the whole game down. Wait for MIBR to make the mistakes.
I mean, down to a crawl.
Yep.
And they were right. They read it perfectly. MIBR were the ones who messed up. And it keeps it competitive. It keeps them within 3. Jake is 1 point away from having his ult online. Thought they were going to maybe make a showers play.
Just showing some early pressure. More aggression from MIBR here. Nice little pop flash from KO. I think that was from CT spawn.
Wow. Tap. FRZ staying alive for now. You have so much presence, eh?
Very patient anti-eco right now.
Dude, again, they're in spawn.
Yeah.
They're just so concerned about these late flanks, this like quiet pressure that we saw in the previous round.
Did RGL see them?
No pings on the minimap, but maybe. Is there a flash for JZZ? No. Beautiful molly. That's going to keep them back. But can they fight through it? Oxy on the swing. JZZ punishes, but the spike once again is going out B.
Again, the right read from C9.
Well, it also helps when you don't leave spawn. Right? You can adjust and you can call much more quickly.
Yep.
30 seconds left.
Mazin's here, though. He is by himself, has a sheriff. How does he play this? Vanity's the one who commits to getting the spike down.
Early nade here.
Zeppa still has Roomba. And they have to clear elbow. Vanity has to take this fight. They invest the ultimate. And the onus is going to be on MIBR, and they're going to have to do this pretty quickly. Jake waiting, biding his time, looking for the right moment to strike. That crossfire's brutal. Jake and Zeppa clean it up.
You're going to think now, if you're the likes of MIBR, should I have just saved that KO ult for a future retake? Maybe a more even one where we had a full buy and better positioning, perhaps. But Vanity really getting a read on how the rotations of MIBR are going now, based off of pressure that they're showing in showers. Understanding that in that exchange, Mazen is probably going to lean. But even if he stays, there'll only be one guy there. 3v1 is what you want for the attacking side, always.
They continue to fight for showers and deny some of the space from Cloud9.
And this is why the Yoru is so good on bind. Is the feints that you could throw with the utility in shower. Just being a menace in that entire area. If he wants to, he can solo take it with a flash and a clone. He could fake that he's taking it. So many possibilities that you can do.
Prepare for hellfire. Doesn't seem like they're going to be as slow this time around. Zeppa's the only one who's not with the team right now. A late lurk. Meanwhile, the rest of Cloud9 is taking A. Are they going to be able to hold the showers? No. Ardzin falls. I don't know if they're expecting RGL, who's going to be there. Big swinging back sight, getting the best of Mazin. JZZ pushing forward, having to make a play. They've spotted RGL. This seems like it's going to get out of hand again.
And they TP on top of it.
The tenacity with which Cloud9 is playing right now is so impressive.
Yeah. A lot of layers in the gameplay right now. Vanity setting up these rounds beautifully. Oxy in this round showing early showers control. We're aware that there's multiple there, right? We saw the brim smoke come out. The clone was broken by somebody else. Brim ult into you, so you know no one's there. You flip the sight. While that's all happening, you have Zeppa who walks in to Hookah, grabs control, allows for the TP play to open up if they want that. Here's the rotations the entire time. Just clinical outplays right now from C9.
Like butter, baby.
Yeah, it really just feels like they've slowed down these rounds so much, and Vanity has been a step ahead. We'll see if RGL can keep this weapon. They're hunting for him. They're looking. Whoa. I don't know that Zeppa's going to get there in time. That was probably the last attempt.
Respect their elders.
Whippy falls. RGL keeps that weapon alive, and I mean, ever important. There's not much else there.
Down you go.
Look at that. Just free kills, it looks like. Just walking into their crosshairs. And a wise timeout here from MIBR. Needing to recognize the pace that C9 is playing at. Maybe if you're going to make aggressive plays, do it with more utility, right? Maybe better, deeper KO flashes so Vanity doesn't get two in that corner. Maybe a molly to flush him out next time when he's stuck, instead of trying to just pre-fire spray him down. I really liked how MIBR was setting up this half. I liked that on the bonus round. They were going aggressive, changing the pace. But getting punished like that from heroics, honestly, Vanity should not have gotten two in that round. That was so crucial.
I mean, that really, it feels like that play kind of changed the tone of the entire map.
It did, for sure.
MIBR still hanging on to a lead, though, albeit a small one. And this goes back to the conversation we were having earlier about how oftentimes on the opposite side of a timeout, you're expecting something, right? Like, what's a set piece they have? What are they going to want to do aggressively to take some space?
And look at, they're already setting up for the in-spawn default.
the don't move for 30 seconds.
Yeah. Call that red walling on my previous team. You don't go past the barriers.
I mean, it's been working for him.
Yeah.
Toxins going up.
And again, it's just like I said. If you see C9 not taking early control of anything, with Sky Util specifically, you should have an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, but have MIBR clued in on that? I think that's the question.
But also, even if you know what's going on, sometimes there is no perfect answer for it. Yeah. And that's the whole point of running a default as the attacking side. Putting doubts in the minds of MIBR.
Scout destroyed.
Vanity's job here is just to get the info.
Yeah, who's where. Maybe draw out any utility they can, just like the dog right there.
Top poison's on.
Did they hear the Yoru TP? I'm not sure if FRC can hear that from Hookah.
I'm not sure. I mean, this has just been
I've got your trail.
an outrageous performance from Cloud9 these last couple
Beautiful
of rounds.
IGLing.
Everything is just so well considered. JZT with flash in his face, trying to spam through. He gets the best of Oxy. With the rocket in his face, he's not able to survive any longer.
30 seconds left.
They've gotten out onto the side, and they're going to flip the map again.
No way.
Because Whippy's already up short. The careful thing, though, here is that sometimes you overcook these a little bit too much. Is there going to be a way for MIBR to punish? No, I just don't think they have the weapons here. Jake committing to the spike plant. Vanity continuing to frag. 3 on the round for him.
I mean, talk about putting things in your own hands, man.
Yeah, Vanity's become the brains and the brawn here.
Vanity IGLing masterclass right now and dropping bombs on them. That was such an important kill on Heaven on RGL. If RGL gets that kill, this could be a completely different round.
Yeah, I mean, he was the first one there. He buys a little bit of time. Rotations come through, and you know, maybe there's something, perhaps an upgraded weapon
Look,
too.
he's smiling too. He's having fun with it out there.
You know,
he's got a smirk on his face.
Toxins going up.
Trying to find the solo stinger. But I think FRZ just wants to die to bomb here. Not trying to give Jake or Vanity an extra ult orb. This is so reminiscent of their first time playing each other. Just
it really is.
Blow for blow. Vanity at the top as IGL.
That was just unlucky timing from Oxy, man. But the follow-up was good.
And that was the main kill.
Yeah. That just opens up so much, and then Vanity can continue to do his thing.
Those are just icing on the cake, but that Heaven fight was so crucial into winning this round.
That's now 5 rounds in a row for Cloud9. I can't imagine the approach changing for them either.
Yeah, it's just so tough for MIBR because they feel like every time they're going for these re-clears, they're getting punished. So now that they're not re-clearing, that opens up the entire map for C9 to use these teleporters and do all these crazy defensive manipulations.
I mean, this hit was filthy out from Cloud9. You had the Roomba up, you had the dog up showers. They take everything so cleanly. And I mean, this is a perfect time to inject pace into the round.
Yep.
Right? They've been so slow, they've been so methodical, and then this time, right out of the gates, they know what they want to do, they commit everything, hold W, and they get the site, they get the round.
Time to jump. Great IGLing right now. I cannot stress it enough for everybody out there watching.
Because, I mean, defensively, it feels like you're constantly on the back foot, right? You don't really know what to expect. You're not finding success anywhere. You're just kind of left lost.
C9 have started the last, like, 4 or 5 rounds so slow, waiting for aggression, punishing it, and to just throw in the fast hit now. MIBR just not really ready for it. And honestly, the hit was a back sight fight as well, right? Not letting MIBR play that backside area, delay the bomb, just taking the fight to them. Confidence has just been totally shifted now for C9.
Take a look at it again.
Fight I was talking about.
Exactly. Oxy so far up. Vanity just continues to go nuts. I mean, you can see it, the frustration in their faces, the confusion,
it's
just the lack of answers.
It's so tough because they've tried playing aggressive. Now the one time they're playing back and trying to just play like a delayed bomb, right? They get absolutely punished in their basically back sight.
Oh, that flash didn't make it out of TP. Not that it matters. It's just a clone up showers.
3 people here pushing through shower, but the info is going to be gathered a little bit too late.
One thing to note here, I can't imagine Cloud9 try to flip the map against the teleporter as they've been doing. They have no knowledge of what's happening A. And with Oxy's ult, they're going to find out that the site's completely open. There's nobody there.
Exactly. And I think had Oxy had seen more than 2 people at this site, they probably would have opted to TP. But that's why the Yoru is so good on this map.
They're going to try to flood out behind the Seekers. JZZ getting the best of Jake. They're so far back here. They're not playing outside, but Oxy's behind him.
Are they sticking it?
Oxy's gotten behind him. Mazine's going to fall, but Mazine's going to take the defuse all the way.
Oh my gosh! And that's the round MIBR win?
I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty, I guess.
The economy is still in shambles, though, for MIBR, even though they got that ninja defuse.
They're just so far back.
And honestly, up until this moment, C9 has been so on point.
Yeah.
With not letting anything slip.
Hit them when they're not looking.
Even on A site previously, tapping the bomb and waiting for the pushes through smokes. But this time, just not aware that MIBR was going for the Hail Mary.
A little bit more of intent out from MIBR at the beginning of the round. The flash through teleporter, the pit down short. They want to take this fight into showers. Or at least create some space. I believe the orb was picked up by Mazine. He's now 1 point away from having his ult online.
He's so pushed up on this ult.
With a judge.
I think you're going to see a Brim ult behind him with the Sky Dog going through here. That's what I would call right now if I was C9.
Well, there's the dog.
No Brim ult, though.
Oh, he's waiting.
Coming now. There it is. Pushing him back.
Oxy got through, though. He got through, but he's by himself. He's punished by RGL.
Launching smoke.
Spike still hasn't made its way out of showers. Mazine playing close. That's ult. That's ult. Instantly popped. Spike's still not playing it, and RGL's hiding behind the smoke.
Oh my gosh. I think Jake is aware.
Does not swing, does not fight, does not make a sound. Meanwhile, Zeppo with the spike. He's got to win this fight. So important. You lose control here, and that you've lost control of the spike. You lost control of the site. You've lost control of the round.
One enemy remaining.
And potentially the map as MIBR get to map point.
So cold from RGL just staying his ground, understanding what his job is in that round. He doesn't need to move. And Mazin honestly going absolutely huge. And I love this set play. It's pretty much what I was getting at. I would have loved to see it earlier with the dog, though. Allowing the Viper not to get out at all.
30 seconds.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah. Oxy maybe doesn't even have to commit his TP at that point. He can just flash out a shower and maybe survive, not get traded. Some things to look into if you're C9 for the future.
The duality of man.
Chef's kiss.
Right back into the action. MIBR once again going aggressive, and Whippy ready for it. Holy smokes, was he ever?
And what a gamble from MIBR.
That's now 2 rounds where they've tried taking contact aggression up short, and it's failed.
And you know, I respect the confidence and the aggression to try to catch C9 off guard, but it has not worked up to this point.
Yeah.
At all, anywhere. Even in showers the previous round.
And once again, they're left in tatters. Just a couple members left. With
and they have Skyle.
Yeah,
this is impossible. This has got to be impossible. Good delay here. And you already see FRZ not moving his position. Maybe they'll TP.
Oh, he's backed up, bro. Freaking peppered. Now they know where the last player is. Courtesy of the Seekers, Vanity gets the spike down.
Spike planted.
OT seems inevitable.
And I understand what MIBR was trying to do into this round. You know, trying to catch C9 off guard, but it has not worked up to that point. And such a big round. Now you're going into OT.
But honestly, and like you were saying, I respect it because I think there are two situations that can play out there. Either you're playing not to lose or you're playing to win.
Yeah,
right?
and so they're definitely playing to win.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a good sign going into this OT. But you gotta just think, if they had just done a normal setup, like every other round they had won on defense, maybe this map would already be over.
Yeah, sure.
To drop 2 players like that so early on.
A tough spot to be in. We'll see what OT holds for us. Rifles and full armor for everyone. No glass cannons or anything like that.
No ops.
Uh-uh.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone from MIBR op on this map. Maybe Artson in the last series on Jet?
Maybe.
Wow, Artson disrespecting the Viper Molly. It's not something you see every day.
But this is what you want out of your duelist, right? This is what you want out of someone who can inject a little bit of X factor into a situation. Maybe he's the one who can take matters into his own hands. And it seems like MIBR, perhaps with a little bit more noise, but a similar approach to what Cloud9 was doing in the latter half of their attack side.
That flash doesn't connect on anybody long B, but here comes the hookah reclear. This is going to be really big information if Vanity spots him. Big info here. This might cause a rotation from C9.
Yeah, what do they
towards
do?
This B site.
What do they do with this? I think the response...
He missed the knife lineup. Oh, and that could be disastrous for MIBR. No knife, no info gathered.
He's beneath him. Oh, he was beneath him. Vanity was there and he was ready. He was waiting. It seems like they're going to try to hold this fight up close and personal. They're both playing just on the other side of this wall. MIBR not being allowed entrance. They're not being allowed access onto the site. Whippy knew exactly where they were, and this hold has been ferocious from those two. Attempting to do it themselves. Finally, the reinforcements arrive, and is it too late? Oxy's behind them. Finally showing up. Do they know where he's coming from? He could be anywhere, and RGL drops him. MIBR take the lead again.
C9 had that round in the bag. All signs were leading to them winning that round, but they got a little too antsy. A little too quick on the retake. Emotions maybe overflowing in that moment to cause lack of good judgment.
I mean, Vanity was there to take care of our team at the beginning, and then Whippy single-handedly shutting down Octagon.
He had full numbers there. 3v2 scenario. Yeah, even Imi knows. He knows they had that.
Slipping away at possibly the worst time.
Oh, speaking of up. Oh, he just gets sat down.
Smoke's down. I mean, a massive start, and now the dog's gonna spot everyone. They're just gonna fight in showers. The flash out, Jake on the swing, JZZ's there. They hold the line. So much pressure applied, and how do they get through this? RGL's left alone. He's got 58 HP, and now he's surrounded. They should be able to get the spike down unless FRZ can strike at the right time.
Oh my gosh.
10 HP for the controller, and it very quickly evaporates. Can Oxy keep this map alive? He's gonna have to do it on his own. RGL with the smoke, FRZ with the spit.
Portal closed. This is so tense.
But they're playing it so disciplined, so carefully, so meticulously. I mean, it's fundamentals versus playmaking right now. And Oxy has an opportunity. Yeah.
They do have a brim smoke, and this is huge into this round, but Oxy's in such a good spot here.
He gets the first, drops him. Instantly falling, FRZ, he's going behind him.
No smoke online anymore.
I mean, Oxy's in such a good position right now. He's daring the challenge! And FRZ hits the flick!
He one-tapped him!
An excellent response to what Oxy had just done to them. What a map from MIBR.
Oh my gosh. Doug, that was insane. And I really got to shout out RGL into this game. His brim mollies. His mollies.
Yep.
Even in that last round, on point. Understanding that Oxy's probably wrapping back short, Oxy could not pinch the shower guy in time. And that allows so much time for FRZ to get that flank in and actually regroup with RGL into that round.
Oh, I got to go back very quickly to what we talked about at the beginning of the map. It felt like the series could have gone either way. The first time they danced. This time, the first map goes into OT. it comes down to something like a Mali, for example. These teams just seem like they're matched up so freaking well.
Very high level Valorant being played right now.
And man, Mazen and FRZ having the most first bloods for their team. At 5 for Mazen, 4 for FRZ. That's the KO and the Viper.
We're gonna step away here very shortly, but when we return, the desk is gonna break down the first half. There's another map to go, potentially a third. You're not gonna want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Rachel, you okay?
No. I live with a broken phone. I can't trade in.
Okay, that's dramatic. Better plan's Verizon. Everyone can trade in their old phone and get the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus with AI on them.
A new phone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Wait, I'm on Verizon. Can I still get it?
Yeah.
I gotta trade this in, right?
New and existing customers can trade in any Samsung phone for a new Galaxy S24 Plus watch and tablet, all on us. That's up to $1,800 in value, only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.